rest point. From here, we need to go and fight a very specific boss that's the webbed hollow upper hollow rest point. From here, we need to go and fight a very specific boss that's found lower inside of this level. Now, getting to this particular boss is going to take you through a very long pathing, so do your best to follow the pathing I'm showing you here, but thankfully this path will also show you another fast travel point, so you can start from there. Particular boss is going to take you through a very long pathing, so do your best to follow the pathing I'm showing you here, but thankfully this path will also show you another fast travel point, so you can start from there if you already have that unlocked. You can skip forward inside of this video to get to that particular fast travel point, but for those that don't already have it, make sure again you follow this pathing. You're going to come across a lot of different enemies. I highly recommend just running past them, because at the the end of this, you will see that there really is a lot of different enemies that are going to be attacking you along this path. Now, even though there are a lot of them, they aren't all that difficult to defeat outside of maybe one or two that might give you a little bit of trouble if you're not caught up level wise or material wise to have the good enough armor to deal. Deal with the heavy attacks that they're throwing at you. Once you get to this small pond with a meditation point, you know you are very close to the second rest point, the webbed hollow pool of shattered jade location, and also very close to the boss that we're looking for. From this travel point, you're going to see a hill with a bunch of cocoons on it. This is where you're going to need to go. Simply run past all these different cocoons, and as soon as you get to the back of this room, you're going to see a very large cocoon. This large cocoon is actually going to start talking to you, and all you have to do is keep hitting it until you have the boss arrive outside of this cocoon. This enemy is going to
of practice, 8 arms of mightiness. You're here at last, the destined one. By my brother's words, I will first test your worth. Hold your smirk, you audacious monkey! We'll settle our scores when I reach my full mastery!
going to be the Venom Daoist, and all you have to do is simply progress until this boss runs away from you. You're not going to be able to fully kill him until later on inside of the chapter. This is where we're going to need to go next after you defeat this guy. And this next location is really far into the chapter, right near the end of the game actually. Make your way until you get to the Temple of Yellow Flowers Court of Illumination. Now from this travel point you want Want to backtrack until you go through another set of gates that take you higher up the mountain. Now thankfully there isn't a whole lot of enemies. Of Yellow Flower's Court of Illumination. Now from this travel point you want to backtrack
We don't welcome you here.
until you go through another set of gates that take you higher up the mountain. Now thankfully there isn't a whole lot of enemies around here, but there is going to be a particular point where you come to a crossroads where you can either go right or you can go left further up the mountain. You want to take the left path. This path is going to very clearly open up into a boss arena, and of course you're going to be greeted by the Venom Deus. All you have to do at this point is defeat him. Once you do defeat, of course you're going to take the left path. Come to a crossroads where you can either go right or you can go left further up the mountain. You want to take the left path. This path
for nothing but your sake. I'd appreciate a thank you, but you gave me torn arms. Now, in compensation, I'll claim yours. Never ascension from those sacks. Worthless limbs be gone! That old Taoist fooled me. My challenge was a delusion. Forget it! Face me in a fair fight. You shall learn to best that corruption. Find the needle on Purple Cloud Mountain.
clearly open up into a boss arena, and of course you're going to be greeted by the Venom Deus. All you have to do at this point is defeat him. Once you do defeat him, he's actually going to point you to a very specific mural on a wall. As you probably guessed at this point, this is going to be your entrance into that secret area that we're talking about and going for inside of Chapter 4. Thankfully, going into this area isn't a one-way trip, just like all the other secret areas. As soon as you enter and find a rest point, you can travel back here. But for the purposes of this video, just like all the other secret areas inside of this game, all you have to do is go through and defeat the final boss. Yes, there are several different bosses.
Husband. Oh, dear husband. My powerlessness grieves me so. All I can do is weep here, hoping that a kind young master. Please forgive my impropriety. I am but a widow, here to mourn my late husband. Show some kindness and excuse my manners. We lived in peace in our they occupied up. I intended to retreat, but the Guise has discouraged all. Young master, venomous Yao Guise have infected. Remember to carry enough herbs. Young master, venomous Yao Guise have infested the forest ahead. Take caution, or you may never make it back alive.
Bosses in this particular Purple Cloud secret area, but that is not one of the requirements to actually get the secret ending, just completing this area itself. So now that you have gone through and actually completed this secret area in Chapter 4, let's move on to the final secret area inside of Chapter 5. As soon as all you have to do at this point is defeat him. Once you do defeat him, he's actually going to point you to a very specific bosses in this secret areas. As soon as you enter and find a rest point, you can travel back here. But for the purposes of this video, just like all the other secret areas inside of this game, all you have to do is go through and defeat the final boss. Yes, there are several different bosses in this particular Purple Cloud secret area, but that is not one of the requirements to actually get the secret.
Let outside. Get lost. Don't disturb my drink. How about a quick death with my stinger, you torch-faced monkey? Now leave while you can. The nerve! You fur-face! I meant to let you pass, but you chose to ruin my day! Now, face your doom! My revenge! I can no longer... Buddhists are unwelcome in the land. I sense your malice!
It's been long since any soul has trodden these hidden bounds. Hail, young master. Your face is gaunt, complexion sallow. Both remind me of the venom's touch, as the worm also beset you. An oddity thrives here, the armor worm. Consuming its eggs grants great power. Yet once the larvae hatch, they devour your insides, leaving an undying husk. My fellow disciples, hungry for power, consumed those eggs. And now, most are beyond remedy. Young master, if you will, end their suffering in my stead. They were my fellows. I can't.
Buddhists are unwelcome.
It is so unwelcome.
All these years apart. And they've marred you like this. I journeyed from Mount Lee to delve into the mysteries of this valley. I didn't mean to hold this back from you. It was because I had to. I stayed my hand for my ties to his mother. That's why I called upon you. But how did you get this? I thought it was with the 100-eyed Guai. This may well be the design of destiny itself. I shall help you and restore its power. Consider this as my token of gratitude. few strings dangling from the sky. No one knows whether they lead to weal or woe. Why does everyone vie to scale them?
Secret ending, just completing this area itself. So now that you have gone through and actually completed this secret area in chapter 4, let's move on to the final secret area inside of chapter 5. As soon as you enter into this level, you're going to come across the Woods of Ember, Ashen Pass 1. It's going to be your very first fast travel location. Now from this location, you obviously just want to progress the level like you normally would until you come across this big area where there's a bunch of people fighting, and you're going to quickly come across a hill where you'll see the Pale Axe Stalwart fight. Final secret area inside of chapter 5. As soon as you enter into this level, you're going to come across the Woods of Ember, Ashen Pass 1. This is going to be your very first fast travel location. Now from this location, you obviously just want to progress the level like you final secret area inside of chapter 5. As soon as you enter into this level, you're going to come across the Woods of Ember, Ashen Pass 1. This is going to be your very first fast travel location. Now from this location, you obviously just want to progress the level like you normally would until you come across this big area where there's a bunch of people fighting, and you're going to quickly come Ember, Ashen Pass 1. This is going to be your very first fast travel location. Now from this location, you obviously just want to progress the level like you normally would until you come across this big area where there's a bunch of people fighting, and you're going to quickly come across a hill where you'll see the Pale Axe Stalwart fighting an enemy. All you have to do is defeat him in one-on-one combat, or just defeat him in combat in general, to have him stop fighting long enough to actually have a conversation with you. If you can't interact with him right away after you do defeat him, make sure all the other enemies on this lower area of this first section of chapter 5 are defeated. That will allow you to actually interact with him. Now the conversation you have with him is pretty straightforward. He tells you about 5 specific carts that you need to destroy that will allow you to get into a very specific cave. Thankfully, the very first cart that you're looking for is actually just up the hill where you're actually talking to him. Now this very first cart is very easy to defeat. There is also a ledge above the cart that you can jump onto and get behind this cart to make this fight even easier for you, but defeat this cart any way you want to, and let's move on to the second cart location. For the second cart, progress the game until you get the height of Ember Wood. Of Ember Fast. From here, you're going to need to continue on the main path of this particular chapter. You're going to very quickly get interacted with a boss that is going to be blocking a pair of doors. Once you defeat the boss, you can now go through these doors. Once you Through these doors, you're very quickly going to be attacked by the next cart that we're looking for. Now, there's two ways to actually get down to this cart. One is actually going through a whole cave system, defeating a bunch of enemies and going the long way, or if you have enough health, you can actually jump off the bridge right in front. Progress the game until you get the Height of Ember, Woods of Ember fast travel point. From here, you're going to need to continue on the main path of this particular chapter. You're going to very quickly get interacted with a boss that is going to be blocking a pair of doors. Once you defeat the boss, you can now go through these doors. Once you're through these doors, you're very quickly going to be attacked by the next cart that we're looking for. Now, there's two ways to actually get down to this cart. One is actually going through a whole cave system, defeating a bunch of enemies and going the long way, or if you have enough health, you can actually jump off the bridge right in front of the cart. Either way, it's up to you. Now, actually, defeating this cart is not very hard. The only annoying factor of this fight is the narrow path that you have to fight it on. Outside of that, once you defeat this cart, we can move on to the third location. You can find the third cart in the Furnace Valley, more specifically the valley entrance. Fast travel point. Now, something to make mention is that you don't actually need to fight this particular cart. It's actually already going to be defeated. I'm including it here so you don't get confused that this is one of the 5 that you need to fight. So the easiest way to look at this particular cart is that it is already defeated. You don't have to do anything. anything, though the person that's inside you have to fight it on. Outside of specifically the valley entrance fast travel point. Now, something to make mention is that you don't actually need to fight this particular cart. It's actually already going to be defeated. I'm including in here so you don't get confused that this is one of the 5 that you need to fight. So the easiest way to look at this particular cart is that it is already defeated. You don't have to do anything, though the person that's inside of the cart is part of a much longer quest line, which will have a video on. On as soon as I can publish it. But again, count this as a defeated cart and let's move on to the fourth location. Now, this fourth location is actually impossible to miss because it's right after you go through a main boss battle inside of this chapter. So all you have to do is defeat that boss, which you have to do anyway to progress this chapter, and go up the hill to find the Crimson Silver cart. Once again, this cart is not going to be all that difficult, though he is going to be a little bit stronger than the first 2 carts you actually had to fight. So keep that in mind when you're going against this boss. Once this cart is defeated, you want to interact with our bull friend once again. Now, if he isn't here, you may want to go and reload the area, rest and save and come back to this particular point, or you may need to go back to the beginning of the chapter and interact with him there to make sure he moves to this particular point. He may also not be here if you didn't exhaust his dialogue at the first location, so make sure you go back and do that. I've seen a couple different bugs that people have run into with him transporting to these different locations, so I want to make sure I mention them here. Whenever he does finally make it to this particular point inside of the game, make sure you exhaust his dialogue once more, and then we can make our way to the 5th and final cart location. Progress your game even further until you get to the Field of Fire Ashen Pass number 3. From here, it's going to be a very long run because you have to get rid of a firewall and also a giant metal ball that can one-shot kill you. In your first playthrough of this chapter, in this particular section that we're running through, you're going to have a giant metal ball that is going to try and run you down. You need to jump out of its way. All you have to do is progress to the very end of this path and the metal ball will be taken out. Now, at the same time, there's also going to be a lot of fire around this area. One particular spot that you'll be going through to actually get to the cart has a wall of fire. As soon as you take out the metal ball, the wall of fire will also be taken out. So it's a 2-for-1 deal. You know you're in the right spot when you see a giant slip going downhill. All you have to do is progress this entire entire area, this extra section, until you get to another fast travel point. Now there's a lot of different stuff in this area that can easily distract you, sidetrack you, and also a bunch of different mini bosses that you can interact with and easily die from if you're not prepared, so just keep that in mind as you're watching this pathing. My recommendation is either take your time and defeat all these enemies, get those extra levels, or speed past every single one of these enemies to get to the next fast travel. Thankfully, when you get to this next fast travel point, it is going to be right next to where you need to defeat the final cart. This particular fast travel point, if you're coming back later on in the game, is called the Field of Fire Cooling Slope. From this cooling slope, all you have to do is progress forward to where you're going to see a giant cliff face with another giant cart right in front of it. This is obviously going to be the final cart that you need to defeat. Now, I'm not going to spoil this. This actual fight for you, but just so you know, this is by far going to be the hardest cart you are going to fight inside of this level. Once you have defeated this final cart, you will see our bull friend on the edge of the arena. Difficult, though he is going to be a little bit stronger than the first two. It's right after you go through a main boss battle inside of this chapter, so all you have to do is defeat that boss, which you have to do anyway.
goddess! You play with your life! Our Lady welcomes no outsiders. The potion of is with me! Seize him!
Hey guys, it's Zach from the Concon channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get the Bishui Cave secret area in chapter 5 of Black Myth Wukong. Now in order to start this quest you need to progress to chapter 5, which is called the Flaming Mountains, and then you'll need to get to the first shrine, which is called the Ashen Pass 1. Once you're here you can then follow my lead. And once you get to this area, you should see a bunch of enemies fighting, and you'll see that there's going to be this giant bull looking guy with an axe that you need to defeat. Now you'll need to talk to him, and then you'll need to rest at a shrine. As you can see, I've already done it as there's no fighting happening here. Once you rest at the shrine, you'll then need to come back to the Ashen Pass, and you'll find the bull standing here this time.
I tolerate no evil under my nose. Neither does my axe. Bring me more revenants so I can chop them up. Heed my words. The Red Boy's carts are nothing more than a distraction. Thinks he can outwit me. Bah! That brat! Make haste and head up the mountain. We must figure out what
And then you'll
he's
need to talk to
planning.
him and exhaust all his dialogue options. Once you're done speaking to the bull, you then need
They are called 5-element carts for a reason. What's your tally? Oh, well, the entrance is secured for now. You can go first, and I'll catch up with you later. You brat! You should have... I can see the king from... I wonder what's back. Alright, I feel blind. We should find the king. The Bishui beast is The Bishui beast is treasured by the king as his own kin. How could it simply vanish? The Bishui beast is My king, he treated me well. To die for him, I would not regret it. But I've failed, brother. Failing his mission is what I regret. My king must have done something reckless for that dumb boy. The truth, I wager, lies beyond that door. That cursed god was no match for me. I went easy on it. That's all. Quite a good lad you are. But remember, don't be swayed. Stay true.
Way to card that you need to defeat. Secret areas, I don't want to spoil the actual big boss fight inside of this secret area. Once again, all you have to do is go through, which thankfully inside of this chapter it's very straightforward, where you have to actually go inside of this secret cave. But again, just complete this secret area and you will have the completion that you need to go to the secret ending. Now with this
was uglier than me.
Are you still in the haze or what, you wicked lad? Our Lady asked us to guard this place, not to check another face. Kill whoever breaks in was the order.
By your word!
bade this child be born, but he never knew my struggles.
How can we but follow the Master's word? Rakshasi, you know it was he who made you drink from the river of childbearing.
Shut it. You shall never speak of it. The king knows why I had to drink it. But I haven't glimpsed him ever since then. He made it another reason for his absence.
Rakshasi, your husband shirks dishonor this way. He granted you this cave with his Mount Bishui beast as its sentinel. He's compromised enough for the sake of our master.
You will seal your lips on this. Our family would be doomed if anyone knew the truth behind this child.
Fear not. Master bids me aid you in secret. You and the bull, you will rear this child to manhood. And when the boy comes of age, well, on that day, he will be living proof of the dark deeds of Mount Lingshan.
Secret cave done, let's move on to the final chapter. And thankfully this next step is very straightforward, yet not as easy to do as you might think. All you have to do is complete the game. You have to beat the game to actually move on to the next step of this secret ending. A little bit different, I know, but that's how they designed this secret. Pagoda Realm Snowveil Trail, and I want you to follow the pathing that I'm about to show you very closely because it's going to take you to another location that you may not have come across the very first time you went through chapter 3. Don't worry, there's not really any big enemies along the way, but it'll be very obvious that the location that you're looking for is going to be right in front of you as soon as you get close, and it's going to be called the Great Pagoda. Now, as you enter the Great Pagoda, you're going to very quickly see that there's a bunch of different murals inside of this pagoda. It's going to depict all the different chapters that you've already completed inside the game. Make sure you also
In his steps you've trod, from his eyes you've seen. The circle has led you back. Have you gleaned any truths? Long has an old friend waited for you. Destiny ripens. This last mural holds the key. Go forth. No one sees this myth more clearly than him.
Shame I must greet you in this bitter cold without a hearty drink. It's no easy feat getting here. I know you didn't come to keep me company. In your heart, there must be something you can't get over. Or someone you can't let go of. Same goes for me. I can't kill that monkey. No one can. Except himself. But at last, I see. This is the only way. He had no choice. And neither did I.
You've lifted my spirits, monkey. When he was dragged to the execution yard, sword and spear were dulled, cleaver and cudgel crumbled, and yet he emerged unscathed. Yet he gave his life to put you in this place. Let me see when power diverges from his.
Today's clash didn't satisfy my spirit. Go back with me to the sky. Let us get drunk before we continue this fight.
This one should suit you well. A rock must be.
I hear tell this Yaogwai is I rank 1,000-fold above that king. As his sire he reveres me, and like a deity he serves me. No dare think I'm his slave. Kindly chant the loosening spell and release me, Tathagata, so that you can take back my head and I can be free the court of letting Yaogwai. Let Yaogwai said he knows somewhat. Surely he is the only immortal. You must be somebody from the court. Great. The journey ends here. The lies to bring them down. The watchman and rip it off. And break free.
The win is his. My brothers tested you at my behest. All for this day. And only now do I understand that fight. No prestige can shackle him. No band can keep him caged. A mortal death for an unbound mind and will. May you not fail him. I'm now at peace. Your journey, though, has just begun.
Say, what's to come of Destiny if he steps out of that mural?
I make a living by reading what was written. The signs alone tell what's to come.
What's to come is what's not yet written. No one can read what's not written.
Destiny is written in what's done. What's done shapes what's to come, not escape. It's all written for me, if only I uncover all that occurred.
So, there really you cannot read. That's good. Very good.